Hi there, it's John with Video Trail Reports. It's a beautiful day up here in Big Cottonwood Canyon. Today we're going to hike to Donut Falls. The Donut Falls Trail is a 1 mile out and back hike, available to cyclists and pedestrians. The trail's named for the hole that it's cut in the rocks, creating a curious formation with a cavern inside where the water spills out from the mouth. If you're only familiar with Utah's desert regions, the alpine areas will likely surprise you. The reason why these areas are so lush and green has to do with the large amount of water that collects here due to the high snowpack. Because this water is an important resource for millions across the West, please be aware that your activities here will be highly regulated. Read all signage so that you know what restrictions apply. In addition to clean water, the benefit of these protections is that you're going to see some of the most abundant and diverse plant and animal life in Utah. This, combined with Big Cottonwood Canyon's proximity to Salt Lake City, makes this an extremely popular place. If you're coming up here on the weekends during the summer, do not expect to be able to park near the trailhead. I would still suggest driving up to the trailhead to see if there is available parking, but do not be surprised if you end up turning back. If you're unable to find parking here, there is additional parking along Big Cottonwood Canyon Road, where you turn to reach this trailhead. This will more than double the distance of your hike, but it is still well worth it. At the lower parking area, you will notice a transit sign. However, this is only a ski bus that runs from December into the spring. There's still a large area to park, but for me, I still had to park almost a quarter mile up the road. Of course, there's signage at this lower parking area, and, are you ready? Flushing toilets. Whether you're hiking or driving this lower section, there's still plenty to see, from the forests, the rolling hills, and even the wetland. If you're driving up to the trailhead to look for parking, please be aware that many people will be hiking along this road. A lot of people come up here with small children that should be looked out for. If you're walking this area, I'd highly suggest you pay attention as their cars will be coming along. Stay to the left side so that oncoming traffic will be on your side of the road. When you do make it to the trailhead, or if you're lucky enough to park there are some amenities here as well, such as picnic tables, vault toilets, and of course, the ever-present signage. Be sure you read the signage wherever you go, as there may be different dangers and restrictions from site to site. These boards aren't here just to tell you what you can't do, but they're also here to give you information about what you can do if you would like to go camping, additional recreation opportunities, as well as ways that you can get involved as a community member. Once you're on the trail, it won't take very long to get to Donut Falls. It's only about a half mile one way from where you start. In the beginning, the trail will be quite open like this, but very quickly, it will enter more dense forest with the trees on either side. You shouldn't worry too much about getting lost on this trail, as it's very well marked to keep people on the right path. As the parking situation indicates, there are many people on this trail. Don't be surprised if you end up in a long line. If you do find people are catching up to you frequently, please step off to the side so that people can get past. There are also many great photo opportunities along this trail. If you're going to do this, again, just make sure you do it quickly so that other people can get past. Very quickly, you'll create a large traffic jam.
It's totally fair.
There will always be obstacles on any hiking trail, and that's what makes it kind of fun. Maybe about halfway from the proper trailhead to the falls, there's a broad open space with lots of shade and trees. This would be a great place to take a rest without slowing other people down. You'll be able to identify this spot because there's a footbridge that crosses over the creek. Just after crossing over the bridge, you'll come to a T in the trail. From what I understand, this is a perfectly acceptable way to reach the falls, but if you're going up to the falls, turn left. At this point, the trail will widen, allowing people to walk side by side. Shortly up this trail, there will be a fork. If you're going to Donut Falls, take the left. Going right will take you further up Mill D South Fork. As you get closer to the falls, crowds might form. This is because at this point in the trail, things get much more difficult and the trail effectively disappears as it goes alongside and crosses over the stream. You're very near to the falls, but this section may take you a while, as it can take people quite a long time to get down the rocks and clear out from these very narrow areas. When your turn comes, take the time you need to descend to these rocks safely, and once you reach the bottom, move along so that way others can follow behind you. "2017 has been an interesting year for Utah. We've seen some of the heaviest snowfalls, followed by some of the hottest temperatures. This has made our rivers and creeks running at or above capacity. Regularly, this trail would not be this full of water, but right now, the danger level has been increased. If you're going to go to where the falls are visible, you're going to get wet. Take this into account. Wear appropriate footwear or bring a change of shoes, such as flip-flops, strapped-on sandals, or water shoes. I'd also suggest bringing trekking poles, as these will help you stabilize as you cross the water. Because of all of these risks, I personally would not bring young children up to this area, unless they are in the carrier of some kind, and you yourself will be able to make it across. Coming up to this area can also be made easier by your friends and family that join you, as you can help each other across the water. This will also make for a fun adventure that you can share later. From here, I'd like to just show you this so that you can see what the crossing is actually like. Even shallow water can be a bit of a challenge when it's moving this fast. At several points, I had to resituate my feet as the rocks were rolling underneath and pick a different direction. I've been doing things like this for almost 15 years, but it took a little bit of focus to make it across without dumping my recording equipment into the water. Once you've crossed, there's a small area beneath some trees where you can rest and take in the falls. Although many people do ascend the falls, I cannot suggest doing this. Doing so would be at your own risk, as well as against the recommendations of posted signage at the bottom of the falls. For those that do accept the risk, you'll be able to see the falls at a much closer angle. Here you can see the natural bridge that's formed where the hole has been cut in, and the cavern out which the water flows. For the capable and adventurous, it is possible to enter through the front of this cavern. Be aware that it's not very tall and the water's very powerful in here, so I cannot suggest doing this. Thank you for watching this episode of Video Trail Reports. If you liked it, hit the subscribe button so you can see more of them. We're also available online at videotrailreports.com, as well as on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and Patreon. Thank you.